early morning. Decided to run to Walmart, beat the crowds. They got a limit now on how many people can go in at one time. So we're going to go in there, grab a few things, and I think while we're in there, we're going to look see if we can find some cheap EDC stuff that we can take a look at, see what you can get at Walmart cheap for everyday carry. Hey, it's early morning. We're here at Walmart seeing what you can get in the way of some inexpensive EDC gear. Right now I'm looking at flashlights and see what we can get here. Alright, they got some, there's a pin light laying here. Looks like that's about 10 bucks. And we got a rollback on a Coast light. Let's give that one a try. Okay, here's the cheapy section here. We got all these little, we got some headlights, ain't working. Got some little flashlights, not working. Oh, there's a worker. That's just $1. Anything's worth $1. So we'll throw that in there and see what that looks like. Let's see what we can get as far as the knife goes. $4.87. What do you think? Can we get anything worth anything for $4.87? Yeah, we got some, like a finger neck knife with a imitation bone handle. Looks like a liner lock. And we got this one here with little thumb studs. We'll take that and we'll put that on the table and see what we can get. And I actually found another section here with some no different stuff. Let's see what we think. Oh, what do you think about that? That's a little, here's a little knife. Here's a multi-tool with some little hooks for keys. But this one's on clearance for $1. We'll give this one a look. Hey everybody. Alright, we're back from Walmart and here is a look at what we picked up. Just to see what some cheap EDC kind of stuff I could find there. I didn't dig around too deep, just kind of walk through like the sporting goods department and kind of see what we could come up with. And as you've seen, we picked up a Ozark Trail pocket knife, 6.5 inch it says, so I'm assuming that's fully open. We got a Coast flashlight, which Coast is a fairly well-known brand. They tend to make some budget priced items with knives and flashlights mostly. And we just grabbed a $1 flashlight just to see what you can get for $1 and maybe discuss what a person could do with that. Then we got this little keychain tool, or Multitool, and then we got a little pin light from that's made by Rayovac, and we'll just kind of look these over and see what we think of them. Didn't spend a lot of money here. About it was under 30 bucks for all this, so quite a bit under 30, I think. What it came out to. I didn't bring the receipt with me here, but let's open some of these and have a look and see what we think. Alright, we're going to start with this Coast flashlight. This would be the most expensive item that was part of all this. And this one I could see probably I'll end up keeping or using. It does have a kind of a striker type ends around the bezel there, so you could I guess use it somewhat as a self-defense tool, you know, kind of jab it at people and discourage them. But it's flashlight, how is it? Alright, first it's got a thing I noticed is it has just a light touch button that you can do, just kind of use it to flash, or you just turn it on, and it's got, looks like a couple of different settings for brightness. There's the real bright, maybe you can tell a little bit there how bright it looks to you, and has kind of a pulsing light. So all in all, it looks not too bad, and this was about 12 bucks, so not a huge expense. And according to the package, it says it's waterproof, so that would be good. I suppose you could drop it in a puddle or whatever, and that the bezel does turn, so it does. I'm shining off over here to the side, and it does make it either flood or spot, and it does appear to be fairly bright. I'll have to try that out in the dark and see. This is a good size. This is going to be bigger than what you'd carry in your pocket or anything, but it would be a good size for putting in a backpack or in a console of your car or something like that. It's got a nice grip to it, and it also feels pretty rugged. Like maybe you could drop it and rough it up a little bit without doing too much damage. All in all, as far as inexpensive top lights go, that does seem to be probably worth 12 bucks. We'll include this in a look at some of the flashlights I have. We'll compare it to some of the other flashlights I do have, and we'll talk about the ones I carry and keep with me at that. Next flashlight we got here is the $1 flashlight. Just comes out a little display box, and if you've seen the video of me looking through these, half of them did not come on. Either the battery was already run down, or with these I know sometimes you have to shake them or whatever to get them to start working again. And you can see it's not near as bright as the Coast light, even though it does have looks like about 10 little LED type bulbs in there. To be honest, this would be something that you could keep in the console of your car. If you drop something down in the floorboard and you want to look for it, you can reach in there and pull this out, and it'd probably provide enough light for that. if you're outside, it's not going to be anything too useful as far as illuminating a very good area. But what do you expect for $1? So you get what you pay for, and for $1, it's a disposable light. Like I said, keep it in a glove box, keep it in your console. If you ever need to look under a seat or down, drop something down the floorboard, it just gives you a little light. Or even if you just had to look at a piece of paper or something when you're sitting in your car at night, you know, it might provide some light for that, or something like that. Not too overall useful. And I would say just something you'd have in an area where you might just not have your EDC type or your backpack type lights handy. Maybe a wife's purse or something. When, you know, they don't, I don't know about your wife, but mine doesn't really get too excited about flashlights or anything. So this would be something maybe I'd hand her and say, hey, stick that in your pocket. You never know when you might need a light. All right, let's open up this Rayovac. Now, since I'm opening the packaging, I'm committing to ownership on these, so I'm sacrificing that for you guys so we can have a look. This will go in the drawer with other gadgets and cool stuff. So, all right, I think the battery goes in like that, and this would be something you could carry in your shirt pocket. Pretty inobtrusive, about like carrying a pen. And there you go. Not too bright at all. Maybe for looking down somebody's throat to see their tonsils. This reminds me a lot of the ones doctors would carry or something like that. Or also, I have used some lights very similar to this when working on a car back in the day when there was actually carburetors on cars, and I was not too long out of high school and working in an automotive shop. I many times would be under the hood looking down in carburetors and distributors and use a light about this size that I could keep in my shirt pocket to look down in those areas. And also when you drop a screw or something like that, you could get in there and kind of look for it with that. So that would be handy for that. It's not something that you would carry with you to be something to illuminate an area outside or anything like that. Just it give you a minimum amount of light. And we'll include that one too when I go over some of my flashlights and compare it to maybe some other pocket type pen lights that might be better. But this came in at around I want to say $3, something like that. So, you know, not too bad for a $3. You know, you put it in your pocket, working on the car, doing things, and if it falls out and you lose it, no big loss. All right, next thing we're going to talk about is this little kind of a multi-tool key fob kind of gadget. And this was actually, as you can see, it was marked down for $1. So it falls in that anything's worth $1 category. So we're going to say that makes it a pretty good value right there. Even if you only end up using it one time, I'd say that's going to be worth $1. You do have the little cutouts here, so it works as a wrench. You know, little light, small little nuts or something like that you can loosen You're not going to do any heavy duty work with it, but it's not designed for that. It does have the bottle opener, so this would be handy to put on your keychain, and you'll have your little multi-tool. And I've got we got 3 different vehicles, and so I've got 3 different sets of keys, 1 for each vehicle, and this would be something I might put on one of those. I've got I do have a multi-tool of some kind on every one at this point, and this one I'll probably put it on maybe one from old truck and see if we can get some use out of it. You got a flathead screwdriver here. You got a Phillips, looks like a Phillips. Don't know, it's not real deep. I don't know if you can really see that. It's real thin, so I don't know how well that's going to do on unscrewing a lot of Phillips, but we'll try it out. And this here is a little area here, and that looks like probably some kind of wire stripper, which that could be pretty handy. And what else does it do? Oh, it's got a 2-inch ruler, so you can use it for some quick measurements. That's pretty handy. And it's got the spring clip here for attaching it to your key ring. So all in all, that we're going to say that's worth $1. We'll get some of these in like this, and some of the different things that little multi-tool key fobs and things like that. We'll do a video just on that sort of thing here in the near future, and see what all the different ones offer, and we may even I'll put together something so we can actually try their see how good they are and what they're designed to do. And this one does show to have a little file here on the back, so don't know what the steel this is made out of, so don't know how good that file would be, but it might work good to file a fingernail or something like that. Maybe a little piece of wood you can file something down. So that not too bad for $1. And I'll actually give this a try and see how that works. And then last but not least is in your everyday situation, you need a knife. So we got an Ozark Trail. I have never tried out an Ozark Trail knife, so we will see what this gets you here. These were $4.97 plus tax, so we'll see. It's, first of all, it's not doesn't feel too heavy. Let's see, throw it on there and see what it weighs. It is 2.24 ounces, so nice weight. Knives I like to carry, I like to be under 4 ounces, so that fits that. It's a flipper. It has a flipper and it's got thumb studs. And maybe it needs a little break in, but it at this point does not want to flip open. You get it started, and then you use the thumb studs to get the rest of the way, and maybe that's is what it is. It's still, that makes it usable one-handed. You could use just the thumb studs, and it actually comes closer to wanting to flip. Yep, you can actually flip it open with the thumb studs. The flipper doesn't do much flipping. It just gives it a start. So the pivot screw does look like it's adjustable, but don't know. Blade is tight, so I don't know if that would loosen it up any, and you know, if that makes a difference to you. Blade centering, you can see if you can get a look in there. It's not dead center, but it's not. I've seen knives I paid a lot more for that were more off center, so not too bad there. So actually has a, doesn't fit the hand too bad. I got medium-sized hands. Probably a little smaller, a little shorter handle than you guys know I like a thin knife, and I don't like a huge knife as an everyday carry type knife, but I do like it enough to where I feel like I got a good grip on it. And this one is right at the minimum of what I do like. One disqualifier for me is the pocket clip is not movable, and it's going to be tip down only, which is not the way I like to carry. If that doesn't matter to you, then you might not have a problem. It does have a lanyard, a hole for a lanyard in there, or something for decoration or for usability. And all in all, for $5, it feels about as good as most knives you pick up at places. Probably better than some you see at flea markets and things like that, and gas stations and gift shops. $5 knives that look kind of sparkly and outrageous, but you can tell they're not real high quality. This, to be honest with you, this really feels as overall, as far as fit and finish and everything, feels about as good as some of the lower priced Kershaw knives you'll come around, and actually has a lot of that similar styling. It seems like you see a lot in Kershaw. Where one area that it does not match up is one, the pocket clip is not movable, and the flipper is just pretty much worthless. It's they should have just went thumb stud and called it a day. But looked good in the package. Looked like you could get you a nice flipper knife, and I don't think that is ever going to be a flipper. Let's just see how sharp that is out of the box. We'll just grab a piece of paper here and see if it'll cut. It kind of hacks at the paper. It does not, and I'm not trying to really help it. I'm just seeing if it'll cut. And it's I guess it's usable sharp. It's not as sharp as knives I like to use out of the box compared to this one here. This one may not be very sharp because I use it all the time. But yeah, you can see it. This knife is an inexpensive knife, and it came very sharp, and I use it a lot. And I just touch it up on a stone every now and then, and it's still a lot sharper than this Ozark. But it is what it is. $5 knife. What would this be good for? Would I recommend it for anything? Well, if you find yourself out and maybe heading out fishing, or find yourself in a trip somewhere and you couldn't take your knife with you on an airplane, or you forgot to take one with you, and you're out and you just feel naked without a knife on you, whoop into a Walmart and pick you one of these up, and then you have your knife for the duration. That way, if you get back to the airport and you can't get it back on the airplane with it, just toss it in the trash, and basically you borrowed a knife or rented a knife for $5 for something like that. It'd be good for that. Or if you're out heading fishing or camping and you forgot a pocket knife, pack a pocket knife to go with you, and you stop in for some fishing equipment and you pick that up just so you have you a pocket knife, and without being out a big expense. And also maybe something you could throw in your toolbox or tackle box just as a knife that's in there, so if you're in there digging around, your hands are dirty, you don't want to grab your nice knife out of your pocket, and you can use this for things that you don't care if you hurt it or get it dirty or something like that, or lose it. That's about where I'd say that's usable for. And there's knives, tons of knives out there in the world that fit that bill. So there you have it. That is the Ozark Trail pocket knife from Walmart. All right, that is it for our little Walmart shopping trip this morning, and the little goodies that we picked up, just to see, as you're putting together a EDC list of things that you might be able to pick up at Walmart cheaply. This would be some good items for somebody just getting started with putting together stuff for everyday carry, to get them started, or some things to throw in your in a little bag, a go bag or something. Tossing drawers around the house, so no matter where you're at, you got a knife or a little multi-tool or something like that. So it's not just carrying items. It's like I said, in my house, pretty much any room I'm in, there is going to be a shelf or some drawers that I can open and access a flashlight, a knife, or some kind of little multi-tool or something like that. So things like this are good for that, and these will probably find themselves stationed around like that as well. Other than this coast light, I think that will probably find some use. It does seem like that might be pretty usable. So that may end up being the one in my backpack to take place the one that I currently have in there. And I'll show that in an upcoming video when I discuss some of my favorite flashlights. Alright, that's it. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and we'll see you guys next time.